maisha yaliyo na raha, na ukaniahidi maisha bila mashaka. Ni nini ilitendeka baada ya ndoa? Ni nini ilitendeka baada ya kupoana? Kila siku mimi nilimuomba Mwenyezi anipe mume atakaye nienzi. Ikawaje vigumu kunipa lako penzi, when you promised that I would be your one and only lady. I had it, I had it, I had it, amanyika, akombika, oh, I had it. I had it, I had it, I had it, I had it. Oh, 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 oh. Uliniahidi mapenzi unienzi, oh sheri, na mimi nikakuahidi mapenzi kwenye faraja na dhiki. Ni vipi sasa sikuelewi, shida si umasikini daddy, mapenzi pili pili tena kageuka shubiri, na bado nakupenda, sitawahi kuacha, tufurahi pamoja hata kama kwa boda boda. Bado nakupenda, sitawahi kuacha, tufurahie pamoja hata kama kwa boda boda. Yeah, yeah. I had it, I had it, amanyika, akombika, oh, I had it, 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 oh, nakuenzi mpenzi, nakuenzi my baby, stay with me and our family. Oh, I love you, my love.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Living with S. I'm Sharon Mundia, and we are at Park Inn by Radisson. Beautiful day, beautiful view, and a beautiful voice is what you, ladies and gentlemen, just got the chance to listen to. Her name is Serro. I have to say, because before the show started, we were just talking about how you just sing words out. Yeah. It's just like, hi, how are you? And you're like, I'm okay. All right. So that was Sarah, and that was her song, Aheri.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So before we get started, just getting to know a little bit about you, I have some quick fire questions that I'm gonna throw your way.
Okay.
Okay, but you've got to be fast and honest.
Fast and honest.
Fast and honest. This is not a trap.
Okay.
Okay. So first question, really easy. If you had to eat one food for 2 weeks straight, what would that be?
Potatoes.
Oh.
Like, who has to think about
Oh
that?
my God. Okay, so what kind? How would you have them?
Any kind.
Mashed,
Fry them, mash
fried.
them, boil them.
Potatoes.
Okay, not sure, but
Yeah.
potatoes.
Potatoes.
What is the?
Yeah, no, by the way, I think I'm with you there. Okay, who is your celebrity crush?
Oh my God. Hi, Delvin Savara.
Okay.
That's a fine man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hello there. Okay, what is the last book you read?
Does the Bible count?
Yeah, the Bible counts. And when did you? So, do you read the Bible every day or
I
every
tried
week?
to, but it's been tough over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I tried to I tried.
You try. It's good enough. That's good. That's good. And what is the one thing you can't leave the house without?
Shea butter on my
Oh.
face.
Oh. Is that your skincare tip?
Yeah. My
Your
sister
skincare
got me
plug?
into it. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, yes, please.
And I-
that and the rings.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Do you know what's so interesting? I can say for a fact, ladies and gents, that her skin does look like butter. So if you want a little plug, like a quick skincare plug, I think the shea butter
Yeah.
on your face.
Yeah. Every single day, morning and night.
Body or just face?
Just face.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Okay, so that's it.
Yeah.
So now I want to get to know a little bit about how you came to be who you are today
Yeah.
as the Afro pop queen. Your live performances are the real deal.
Thank you.
And I want to understand how you got to where you are today.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your childhood. Were you always creative and artistic?
I think I was always just loud and
Oh.
out there. The kihere kid.
Oh, yeah?
Like I have so many pictures of me dancing. So I'm pretty sure I was the kid whose parents would be like, yeah, Oli, come dance for the visitors. Come.
Come entertain.
Like I can't remember that, but the pictures tell a whole different story. So I definitely was that kid.
Yeah.
And then when I was in primary school, I remember this one time. I was young, and so I wasn't really participating in the music festivals, but the primary school I was in at the time was hosting the music festival. And you know how you're clueless as a kid, so you don't even realize all of a sudden there's very many people in different uniforms in your school. And then in the afternoon when everyone else is in class, apart from now the hall where the festival was happening, I was going to the toilet and I just had drums in the hall and I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And I think was my first aware encounter with music. And
how
then,
old were you then?
Probably class 3, so
Wow.
I don't know how old was I.
Yeah. No, but
Probably-
class 3 says.
Yeah, like 6, 7.
Or
Because I was
8,
like
9,
2
yeah.
years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, haha.
Well-
Sorry, excuse me, Miss Martin.
Yeah, so maybe like 7.
Love it, yeah.
7, 8, like around there. And then I transferred.
Okay.
And then I went to a school which was actively participating in music festivals.
Okay, so but the first school that you were in, when you heard the drums, was your instinct to be like, I want to do that,
Yeah.
show me how to.
Yeah.
So did you start lessons or?
Not
how-
really.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. At that time, I didn't know there was something like I could actually go say, hey, Mom, could I, like, is there a place I can maybe learn? Because that wasn't something in my head. I was like, I want to do this professionally. It was just like, I think that's so cool. I want to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And then I went to another school. And I remember also just as a newcomer, we used to have now in the new school something called PPI every Friday after assembly. And we'd sing praise and worship songs and pray and stuff. And I remember, like, we weren't told, but girls used to do the singing. And then the boys used to like play drums on the desk and everything. And I remember being like, that beat doesn't go with that song. I didn't know at the time something called like 3-time signatures. Those I learned later, but I'm like, that beat just didn't go with that song. I don't know how, but I just know.
Right.
But now later it just all makes sense. So things just fell into place. I ended up participating in music festivals, and then grew up. High school, started now drumming and singing lead in every place.
So even in primary school, when you transferred and you were in a space where now you're participating, you never did play the drums then?
No, but I knew I had, like, I was very rhythmic.
Right.
Yeah.
And was it because you weren't allowed to, or you just felt like socially everyone just, you know, the girls did this?
Yeah, the girls did this, the boys played. There's no way I could just go and tell that shack, hey, can I play? Like, it was an unsaid rule, kind of. The guys get the instruments, the chicks sing and dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you were singing.
Yeah, I started singing now when I was in class 6, which was also a very interesting story. Yeah. So for our school, how it worked, Monday and Friday during assembly, the teacher who was on duty that week, your class leads praise and worship. Okay. So for every single time we had to lead, there was this one girl who used to solo. And it was just obvious. Like, if we have to go, she leads, we just... Ooh, you know,
at the back.
Like, it was just obvious. And then that day she was like, I'm sick, I can't sing. And then she was like, unaturingia sasa, kauko, who wants to solo? And because everyone was putting their hand up, even was like, teacher, teacher. And then she was like, okay, you do it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? I had never sung before. I had never like done anything like that before. And we went to the assembly and I sang, and I remember, as young as I was, surprising myself. I was like, sure, that's a big voice.
But before that, were you singing, in the bathroom, in the car, to your family? Was that
I can't remember. I don't think
but
so.
That was for
but
you.
I knew I was interested,
Okay.
like in everything music.
Okay.
But that was the first time I sang. The other times I would just look from a distance, appreciate it, admire it, but never really actively participated. And then that's the first time I sang, and then I've been singing ever since.
Wow.
In short.
I find it so interesting how your story into music is filled with these like pivotal moments where it feels like, oh, it's just luck or chance. But
I feel
sure
that now
bigger.
even like more than ever, because there's a song I did a few weeks ago, and it went viral, and it was same circumstances. Because I'm starting a YouTube channel, so I was filming for the channel, and I was like, you know what, my camera is up, my tripod is up, I've been posting stuff for the channel on my Instagram. People need to remember I'm a singer. So I put a question in my Insta stories, what do you want me to sing? Someone mentioned the most random song ever, which I thought I would never ever release because it's like a stupid song. And I was like, I'm a singer. I like no. And I was like, but anyway, I'll just put it on Instagram, get like my kawaida 300, 400 views, keep it pushing. And then song went viral. I was like, what is happening?
Oh my God! Okay, we've got to see that song. So we're gonna play a clip of that song so we can understand why it went viral. Here, take a look.
Yeah.
Habari Casio Key wa mitumba, mimi kwa majina nisiyombua, nimekuwa nikikujeki kwa muda, ninafanyanga kazi pale kwa mama wa mbua, ukweli nimenoki macho yako ya mbulu, me and you, we can stick like glue, we can elope, we can go to Kiambu, please say yes, say you love me too, my dear Casio Key. Come, I tell you something about the way I feel I love you. My dear Casio Key, come, I tell you something about the way I feel I love you. Hey, my Casio Key, come and love me. My Casio Key, I love you. My Casio Key, come and love me. My Casio Key, I love you. Hey, handsome boy, always looking nice. I am ready to be your wife. Look at me, I have beautiful smile, and I can cook food of any kind. Na sijasema unipeleke Amerika, mimi hata mudhoko nitakula, na kama una mimi nitatafuta, juu nimeamua ni Casio Key wa mutumba. My dear Casio Key, come I tell you something about the way I feel I love you. My dear Casio Key, come I tell you something about the way I feel I love you. My Casio Key, come and love me. My Casio Key, I love you. My Casio Key, come and love me. Yeah. My Casio Key, I love you. My Casio Key, come and love me. Yeah. My Casio Key, I love you. Oh, my Casio Key, come and love me. My Casio Key, I love you.
Yo, Serro. Okay, so how many views did that get?
On my page, maybe around 19,000.
Whoa.
But now, the thing is, it got more traction when other people started posting about it.
Yeah.
And at first I was so angry, I was so mad.
Why?
I was like, I was calling my sister, I'm just like, that is IP.
Oh.
Why are they not tagging me? Like, that's just really unfair.
Yeah.
And then she was like, relax. That like people are sharing that song, people commit to all WhatsApp statuses in people's contacts with just that song. And then right after that phone call, when I was venting to my sister saying like, this is just like, why? I hung up, and then my phone just started and I was like, okay, something's up.
Yeah.
So I went onto my Facebook, and Churchill, like the official Churchill Ndabuki,
Yeah.
had posted the video and was like, who's this chick? We need to find this chick. And that's now when it was like crazy. And then
It got real.
like hundreds of thousands of views. And then right
Wow.
after that, I was like, okay, I this is overwhelming. I need to zima my data and put the phone away. Actually, I was going to church. I was going for a kesha. Went at like 1 a.m. I'm checking my phone. Fredo Bachimatruka had also posted about it. Got my number somehow. Had texted me. And I was like, okay,
Wow.
this is insane. And you know, funny thing is, I had recorded the song 2 years ago. And my dad was always like, release the song. I'm like, no, it's a stupid song. No, like it's just gonna be in the album. Whoever gets the album will like no. And then I called my manager. I was like, yeah, we're shooting that video next week.
Oh my God! Look at that. It's like when things move, like when it's time, and nothing can stop it. So whether it's you walking to the bathroom and hearing the drums, you putting your hand to say I want to sing, or you releasing a song that you're like, meh, I don't know where it'll go, and now look.
Yep.
Woo! All right, goosebumps. We've got to take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Mbari Casio Key wa mitumba, mimi kwa mayena nisiombua, nimekuwa nikikucheki kwa muda, ninafanyanga kazi pale kwa mama wa mbua, ukweli ni nimenuki macho yako ya mbulu, me and you, we can stick like ngulu. We can elope, we can go to Kiambu. Please say yes, say you love me too. My dear Casio Key, come I tell you something about the way I feel I love you. Hi, my dear Casio Key, come I tell you something about the way I feel I love you. Ha ha ha. My Casio Key, come and love me. My Casio Key, I love you. My Casio Key, come and love me. My Casio Key, I love you. Hey, handsome boy, always looking nicer. I am ready to be your wife. Look at me, I have beautiful smile, and I can cook food of any kind. Na sijasema unipeleke Amerika, mimi hata mudhoko nitakula. Na kama hauna, si mimi nitatafuta. Juu nimeamua ni Casio Key wa mitumba. My dear Casio Key, come I tell you something about the way I feel I love you. My dear Casio Key, come I tell you something about the way I feel I love you. My Casio Key, come and love me. My Casio Key, I love you. Woo! My Casio Key, come and love me. Yeah, yeah. My Casio Key, I love you. Yeah, my Casio Key, come and love me. My Casio Key, I love you.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got Serro, whose video we were talking about before the break, and it just went viral.
Yeah.
And what you've heard is her singing Casio Key wa mitumba.
Yep.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yo, again, it's like when it's time,
It is.
and nothing's
like
going
I'm
to
now
stop
a
it from
legit
happening. Yeah.
believer. I keep telling people that don't worry, your time's gonna come. But
Yeah.
now, like, is a testimony now. Like
Yeah.
I'm telling it from experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So going back to your story and your music journey, so I want to hear when you then had that experience in classic singing, and then you moved to high school, and you're now like hey, I'm
Drumming,
taking over the
yeah.
drums. Like, let me show you what rhythm really
Yeah.
is. Was that did it feel like a natural space for you to be stepping into, mixing both drumming and the singing?
Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason, it really was. And I think that's the place where I totally fell in love with music. Because I felt like that's the only place I fit in.
Yeah.
That's literally the only place. Because my Form 1 and 2, I wasn't doing very well in class until I was like, okay, girl, get your stuff together.
I know what you're going to say. Daytime TV, but get your stuff together.
Yeah, get your stuff together. And then all the other people I felt were popular and cool, and I really wasn't. But the only place I fit in was with music and with playing drums and with singing and dancing and all that stuff. So it just felt like this is where I belong. This is where I'm supposed to be for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And were your parents and your teachers, because I think those two groups of people play, a huge part in these like formative stages of your life.
Yeah.
So were they supportive of your
the whole thing.
interest in music?
I think I was lucky because I started in primary school.
Right.
My parents rebelled until they're like, okay, if you can't beat them, just join
them.
them. So by the time I was getting to high school, they were 100% on my team. I keep joking about this time when my parents came in for an open day. And I was seated there with my dad. My mom was still on the way. I think she had to do something before she came. So, and my English teacher is like, Baba Hulda, you need to tell her to leave music club because it's wasting so much time. You need to tell her now. And then my dad was just laughing, like literally laughing. And I was like, no, I can't. Because my dad is in the arts as well. But in the film and
acting career,
I can't do that.
Oh, high five to him.
Because Anna living from art, if I tell her to leave, that would be very ironic and hypocritical of me. So sorry, Malimu, but I was just like, yes, kidole sambusa.
Oh my gosh! Wait, but also high five to your dad. And I'm hoping there are parents listening right now who are thinking, actually, I should stand up. I may not. You're lucky to have had a dad who understood
and
this
my mom
industry,
as well.
right?
Like, they are just the most supportive parents ever, and I recognize that it's really a blessing because it's not every day that you get that. So I'm so grateful. Yeah.
Oh, bless them.
Yeah.
So at which point did you think, wow, this isn't just like an interest or a hobby. I think this might be something I want to pursue as a career. When was that moment for you?
Now after high school, you see how you have like a whole few months before you go to campus, and I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I was like, okay, I was good in math, I was good in humanities, the girl subjects, and I was trying to figure out what do I want to do, because I felt like music wasn't even a probability. Like, how do you sit your African parents down and be like, okay, so this is what I want to do? But then, so I was considering all these courses everyone considers: accounting, BCom, media, all those things that you're told are the right career choices. But after that, because I had time, I joined the Girls' Choir of Kenya right after high school. Easy transition as well, because our director in high school was the same director for the choir. So it was just like, okay, it felt like the next step to take. And for those maybe 6-7 months, my life was go for choir rehearsal, go perform, go home. Go for choir rehearsal, go. And I was like, this is it. I can't see myself doing any other thing. But now the challenge was, now how do I tell my parents?
Did they not know?
Now that's the thing, they figured it out, because my mom was like, every single week, okay, so what are you gonna do? Because I already have my calling letter to go do music. But the plan was get to school, go change the course to something else. And every time she'd try ask the question, like, what are you gonna change it to? I was like, kuna zile vyombo sijaosha. Like, it just was hipping that conversation, because how do I? And then one day she was like, sit. So, do you want to change the course when you get to school? And I was so scared. I was like, okay, is it music you want to do? It's like, mbona umekuwa ukinizungusha all this time? So you just say it. It's fine. If that's what you want to do, we'll support you. Just don't be afraid to tell us
Interesting that even you felt that kind of fear of like owning this, and it's something that I resonate with, because even when I started like blogging quite early on, I wouldn't admit to what I was doing. I just felt like I'd rather just say I'm looking for a job rather than saying actually I'm creating content online.
Even right now, I feel like I still can't tell someone I just perform full time. I feel like even if that's what technically I'm doing right now, but I teach music as well and all these other things. I feel like every time, especially a relative asks, I have to let them know there's other things
that you're doing
that I'm doing.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Now that you ask, I don't know.
I wonder why
we have that feeling to
almost want it's like maybe a sense of shame, like it's maybe this isn't enough, right? When in actual fact it absolutely is. That you can be a great artist, live performer, an artist, and to be able to hold that with pride and own it. But I think that might be like food for thought. The next time someone asks you to stand in that, because I think the more we run away from owning our truths, then the more it allows others to deny it as well,
and
because
to impose
that's
their
not
truths on
exactly,
us.
and to impose their exactly. So we end up in this like cycle that we don't ever. I almost want to go back and be like, someone ask me what I used to do. Ask me now. And I'm gonna say I'm actually.
I remember when Patricia Kihoro's Data Sphere. Sure, I've never related to something more than I did that. And when she finished and said, "My name is Patricia Kihoro and I'm a singer," I was just like, yes! It got you. Look at my eyes. Oh, Yanni, I was just like, oh my God. Yes. And I was texting my sister because she's the one who sent me that link. My name is Serro. And I'm a singer.
Bless. We have a long way to go when it comes to healing things that we don't even know require healing, and owning our truths, like we just said. Oh, bless. So you mentioned that your dad is in the entertainment industry. Before we go on break, because I know we have to go on break soon, I'm curious to know what are some of the tips that he's shared with you about how to make it in this business.
I think the fact that he's always consciously subconsciously trying to keep me grounded is really huge on that. Like, just remember who you are, keep a good circle around you, not people who will just fill you up with garbage and just making me aware of us. Okay, let me give you an example. I feel like I can't get the point out without an example. There's a time my mom and I were talking, and she works with the Ministry of Health, and she was telling me how they were doing this activation, and young people had to come and give reasons why they use drugs and everything so that they know how to help. And this guy was giving a speech of how in this country you can't succeed as a musician, especially if you're a woman, if you don't sleep with people, if you don't use drugs, if you don't do all these things. So he was like, parents, don't allow your kids to be musicians. And my mom was like, I was so mad, I was so upset. And I was like, no, that's not right. We can't let that narrative go around because it's not right. And then my dad was like, okay, I hear you guys are heated and you feel like that, but this and this and this and this are the reasons why people out there have that mentality. And now he's very intentional about letting me know that when you get into these spaces, this and this and this is what you might encounter. So be ready and know how to maneuver and like go around it, you know, like I know your story is different. Of course, you haven't slept your way up, you haven't bribed, you had to bribe who and who, but just know that these are things you might have to come across. So be aware so that you know how to handle them when the time comes. And so I think I have a really support system. For sure, in like all aspects. I have a mom who's always just being a mom, and I can sometimes in the kitchen I can hear her playing my stuff in the living room. Like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. And then my dad just giving me that, and because he's in film, giving me ideas for music videos and things like that. So I think I have it real good. And my brother is now, because he's an advocate, he's now my lawyer. He's always like, that clause, no, it's gonna lock you up in IP and all that. And my sister is also like in like PR and everything. So I feel like God created my whole family for me, like
to help with everything, your career. Wow.
Right.
All right. Okay, we've got to take a break. We'll be back with more from Serro. Welcome back, everybody. Right, so Serro, I know you then released your first single, I believe it was 2016.
Yeah.
Rongai?
Yes.
Tell me about that and the process of
Yeah.
releasing music into the world.
Again, just like every other thing in my career, very God orchestrated. God put pieces and pieces and pieces together, and now I got the opportunity to work with Polycarp of Sauti Sol, which was just brilliant for my first song, because I was like, every time I was in this room, I'm like, how am I in the studio with Polycarp? Oh my God. And we recorded the song. It was amazing, and we did it live, which was also a very new experience for me. Everything was live, from drums to bass to guitars to every single thing. We recorded that, put that out. It was received very well because I'd been performing it for a while, so people were already waiting for it. So that was really just I keep saying that song will always be my baby. Like, it always go down as my first single ever.
And how did you come about getting the lyrics and writing and being able to pen down your thoughts? What's that process like for you?
For me, it's always like it's always about the story. Like, what do I want to say in this song? And I learned that from Mordecai of Hat the Band. And because he was my songwriting teacher when I was in Sauti Academy. So he'd always ask me, what do you want to say in this song? So I feel like every time before I write, I have to ask myself, okay, so what story do I want to tell with this song? And then I just come up with lyrics that I feel would best describe that story or the situation. And I always have to make it something that someone would relate to or understand or feel like, I know what you mean, girl.
And is every song from a personal space, or do you sometimes write about just the world and the general zeitgeist?
No, actually, only one song that's out was from a very personal place. And sure, the day I released that song, I was just like, oh my God. I have musician friends who are like, girl, you're outing us. Because it was about, it's called Yadunia. And it was just about how people fake it for the gram. And people have all these expectations because you are on a Koroga poster, so now you're supposed to be a millionaire. I'm like, honey, you know, like, not all you see is real, and just because you see someone on the TV or in the newspaper, don't expect them to be glamorous. Like, most of us look pretty, but deep inside we're hurting or we are just suffering. So that was coming from a very personal, like, every time I sing that song, I just feel, I feel like I'm letting people into like a very intimate, you know, space. But every other song is maybe I see my friends experience, I watch movies, or like I hear something, I hear stories, I'm like, I should probably write a song about that. Yeah.
But it's great. I mean, what you've just described, I think, is something that a lot of people watching right now can resonate with. And whether or not you're on Instagram, there's still a way that we like to present ourselves to the world that says, hey, I'm good, I'm okay, don't worry about me.
Like, I'm wearing lipstick, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, check this out. Lashes on the corner, whatever. But deep down, you might be struggling financially, emotionally,
mentally,
with your marriage, mentally, with children, you know, with a disappointment here or there. But we don't like to let others in.
I don't know. But then why don't you like
Well,
that?
again, it goes, just vulnerability is a difficult thing to like allow strangers to be part
you
of
can't
your
trust
experience,
everybody with
and
things
I think,
like that.
But I think also going back to shame and feeling like,
like, what do they think?
Yeah, exactly. What would they think? I'm just, you know, a failure. But again, like, I love that your art allows you to tell and touch on stories that a lot of people can resonate with. So I mean, what a beautiful thing to be able to put that into the world. So speaking of, you know, letting the world in, have you felt the need to create a boundary between you know, you being your artistic self and just allowing the world into that space, you know, your artistic self, and then you being like, maybe let me not do this and not say that. Do you ever worry about
I'm about to be
boundaries?
a fan for 5 seconds
because
because that video, you know, that the video, I was like, yep. Yeah,
right.
I won't say some things, I won't share some things,
right.
and that's okay.
Right.
That's okay.
You're talking about a video that I did on my YouTube channel a few months back, where I was just expressing that
I won't share this and this, and after that, I don't know if you saw it, but another YouTuber was like, how dare she?
Oh, no.
How dare she
What?
show us this, and then all of a sudden decide that she's not going to. I was like, who are you, and why do you think
But that's exactly what I was talking about. You know,
Yeah,
that sense of
entitlement.
entitlement. Like how is it that we feel that we are entitled to someone else's story?
Yeah.
No one is.
No
Not
one
your
is.
parent, not your child, not your pastor. Like you
share
want
what
yeah,
you
you're ready
want to share
when
Yeah,
you're ready
when
to
you're
share.
ready to share.
But
So
we
I think
also- yeah.
there's some things I just like to have for myself, and if I must share, I feel like I'm really itching to share this. It's probably gonna be like uko in my WhatsApp status,
Yeah.
uko fa. Where not like
Right.
only my contacts
Right.
will see, and it's gonna disappear in 24
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I feel like there's things I have decided this is for myself, and
Right.
that's it. I
Yeah.
don't even feel bad
Oh, good.
about
I'm
it.
happy for you.
Yeah.
So who's been your inspiration? Your inspiration, and the second part would be your mentors
Uh-huh.
who've walked with you, and who are the people you look up to? Like, that's good.
The queen.
The queen. I'm talking about the queen
The
bee.
queen. Sure, like
Beyonce.
there's no words.
Yeah.
Beyond.
I feel you.
Beyond.
Yeah, like I'm
You know,
there. I think we're
of
all
course,
there.
internationally, it has to be her. She has for sure inspired how I work, how I conduct my rehearsals, how I plan my shows. Of course, I can't do things on the scale she does
Right.
with costumes and lighting and
Yeah.
all that, but she's inspired. Especially after watching Homecoming and
Yeah.
other documentaries, I was like, okay, I need to be very intentional with my rehearsal time, with my run-throughs, with like everything, and not be afraid to say what I want. When the band is playing something I don't like Queen Bee said, no, if I don't like it, I don't like it. So she's made me very intentional with the music.
Yeah.
But then also just in terms of now the music, I think I look up to Yemi Alade a lot. I love that her brand is really clean. Like there's no, apart from Tiwa, I don't know why they put women against each other anyway.
Yeah.
Her brand is really clean, and when you see Yemi, you see her music.
Right.
You don't see who is she dating, what is this, what did she eat last night? What, you know, like you see her, you see the music. The same way you see B, you think of greatest entertainer
Right.
alive right now, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I'd like to have that and just push the African music globally like that, and people look at me and see my work and not be distracted with every other
Right.
thing about me.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And who have been your mentors? I mean, I know you touched on the band Mordecai.
Yeah.
And of course you've spoken about your dad and your mom.
Yeah.
Have there been other people who've walked with you through this journey that
Yeah.
you feel have been?
I think so.
instrumental?
Now that you ask, I believe so. Someone like Polycarp and
right. Yeah.
and Polycarp's brother,
Yeah.
Tom Olango, are people who won't like talk to you every day or
Yeah.
like every month or something, but you'll feel their impact. They're the people who every time you have something and you really want honest feedback, you'd be like, check this out, tell me what you think, or they'll just call you up and tell you, I've seen that, that's dope.
Okay,
You know?
good.
Yeah.
And that's really what mentorship is
Yeah.
about. You don't have to hold someone's hand 24/7.
And when they have
But-
opportunities, they actually send them
Oh, that's
through.
good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Now I want to hear a little bit about your plans, your music plans. What can we expect from Serro in 2019? I mean, we're towards the end, but also 2020.
Oh, thank God you didn't ask what is your 5-year plan, or where do you see yourself in 5? Because I'm like, that question usually has so much pressure. Like, do I have to know?
Yeah.
Do I have to have it figured out?
Right.
But I have an album coming out. It's almost done. I think it's actually pretty much done.
Okay. Saying that is like
Yeah.
a lot. Okay.
It's actually done.
Oh, okay.
So I hopefully I'll release it before the end of the year or early next year. I don't know. Like I'm still trying to figure that out. So I know I've been telling my fans album. Then no, they're just like, no, you're just lying.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, I'm not lying. I promise.
Like Rihanna and Rihanna's album. How everyone's
Okay, we've just stopped acting. Like, just give us the lingerie and the,
And the makeup.
makeup and every, like, it's fine, Fenty.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah, but you have an album coming.
I have an album
Would
coming
it be
out.
this year? Can you tell us that much, or is it next?
I can give you the title.
Okay, we can take the title.
You can
We'll
take
the
that.
title. What is that?
So it's called Kue, which means for you.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so that's coming out, and then I think now, it's just made me. Oh my God! I've just had a realization. In the beginning of the year, I wrote in my journal, and I told God, because last year, nothing went according to plan.
Right.
It was a really tough time.
Yeah.
And this year, I remember I wrote in my journal, and I said, God, just you do your thing. Like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. You just let everything fall into place. And now, just thinking about plans and everything, it's just hit me like, that He just made things come together. So I think with the album, I'll just know when the time is right, when and then now next year, I think I'll have to launch the album next year.
Yeah.
Even if I release it this year, probably the launch concert will be next year, and then more singles for sure.
Ooh.
More and more music.
And I know that you've also got a tour. Is it a media tour right now? For
Casio Key wa Mitumba.
Which
That jam.
Not following. So please do follow on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
At Serro ____. But just to make it easy. Underscore Serro was taken. Serro underscore was gone.
Yeah.
Underscore was gone. It just needed to be 3.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Serro Music.
Serro Music.
Everywhere. That's easier because the username is like the name thing. Is Serro. So if you search Serro Music, you'll for sure find me.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
This was lovely.
No, it was really good, and I think the number one thing that came out strong for me is the idea that we are probably carrying. Oh no, we are definitely carrying way more shame that we need to, and
without even realizing it.
And it's made me think like, stop, Sharon, and what is it that you're not stepping into fully because you're like, oh, what will they see? Are they judging me? What are they thinking? So that's like my main takeaway from this. And to also step into the unknown, right? Like the song, how it just happened. You never know where it's going to lead you.
If you ever forget that, just look at me.
Watch this interview. Watch this interview. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Actually, this was really nice.
Oh, it was our pleasure.